several parts of the car still here tonight. As you can see, the tire, a lot of wires, some broken glass, even all at the scene as detectives are still trying to figure out what happened. The Hinds County Courthouse in Jackson was the first day of testimony and opening statements in the Natasha Gordon butt injection murder trial. AIDS is an international disease. Tonight's event is focused on spreading awareness right here in Mississippi. Unlike the Republican primary, this Democratic primary has been relatively civil, with few jabs thrown between Marcy and Childers. They hope to use the war of words between Senator Cochran and Senator McDaniel to their advantage in a general election. Hamfest is well underway here at the Mississippi Trade Mart, where vendors from throughout the country are coming to Jackson to make sure you're safe. The Stringfellow also stressed the need for more local recruits and the next coach to embody the JSU spirit, using new men's basketball coach Wayne Brent as an example. But the biggest task may be winning over alumni, many of whom never did see eye to eye with Coach Comegee. From Jackson State, I'm Mike Perchick, 16 WAPT News. And that dry dirt road ends right behind me. Now, we tried to cross it in our station car and were told by a resident to hop out and into his pickup truck, or we would have gotten stuck into the water. Luckily, we took his advice.
Is he a personal injury trial lawyer who supported tort reform, or the one who challenged it in court so he could make more money?
Senator Chris McDaniel answered ads attacking his record as a lawyer Thursday morning at the steps of the state capitol.
Our campaign is concerned about his liberal record, period. Our campaign is concerned about why he's not in state more, period.
But he's not the only one crying foul.
Clear that Chris McDaniel is behind these personal negative attacks against Thad Cochran. It's shameful. He should be ashamed of himself.
Thad Cochran refuses to debate Chris McDaniel. After 5 decades in Washington, Cochran won't even come home to defend his record. Why?
Senator Cochran's not going to debate a liar. Why would we put Senator Cochran on stage with a liar? We're just not going to do that. We're not going to dignify that.
So you're calling Chris McDaniel a liar?
Absolutely.
I'm shocked that his staff would behave like that. I will say this. It's a shame that he has to send his staffer down here to debate me. He should be here.
And while we've seen attack ads from both sides, today's press conference and subsequent rebuttals were the biggest fireworks we've seen yet from either the McDaniel or Cochran campaign. Both only 3 weeks ago until the primary, occurrences like these may be the norm rather than the exception. From the state capitol, Mike Perchick, 16 WAPT News. Do you have anything to say about being arrested so shortly after the operation begins?
I just feel like it was petty because there wasn't nothing but a smoke set, you know what I'm saying?
And with that, the first arrest of Operation Bunny Hop. Detectives from several agencies throughout the metro area teamed up Friday night, where they're executing search warrants, drug busts, and stings on convenience stores. They're also targeting mini-marts to stop underage drinking and illegal cigarette sales.
I want everybody to know that, when they're riding out there, I just want them to look up and see a patrol car, see a deputy, see a police officer. Every time they turn around, if they plan on breaking the law this weekend, they probably need to get out of the metro area.
It makes a difference in the city and the rural area when you see this many officers out in full force.
Unlike other operations, this one was announced to the public.
It's designed to make them feel just as uncomfortable as they made the law-abiding citizens feel uncomfortable throughout the whole year.
We rode along with officers as they executed a sting on this club in Utica. While 2 people were handcuffed and searched, authorities did not find any illegal substances. However, back in Jackson, authorities made 2 major busts, one with drugs and another dealing with a gun. And on top of all those search warrants and drug busts, several safety and DUI checkpoints taking place like this one along Highway 18 in Utica, as traffic being stopped both northbound and southbound, every driver having their driver's license checked. The operation is the brainchild of Hinds County Sheriff Tyrone Lewis, who created it back in 2009 after a particularly violent weekend right before Easter. And while the arrest counts are often what make the news, that's not the ultimate goal of the weekend.
We recognize that this is an opportunity or weekend where people really gather to be with families, and they want to be able to go to the parks, and they want to be able to go to church, and they want to really just feel safe out and about.
In Utica, Mike Perchick, 16 WAPT News.
I intend to sign that bill when it comes to my office.
Governor Bryant spoke out about Senate Bill 2681, better known as the Religious Freedom Bill, in front of the governor's mansion Wednesday afternoon. Despite passing both the state House and Senate, the support for the bill hasn't been overwhelming.
Using religion as a basis to discriminate against people is just wrong.
We're specifically worried about religions using discriminate against other religions. And then also there can be gender discrimination. There can be discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. So this bill, it has its potential to open the floodgates to discrimination.
Outside interest groups believe that Mississippi Senate Bill 2681 mirrors that of Arizona State Senate Bill 1062. That state's respective religious freedom bill was vetoed by Governor Jan Brewer after passing both the state Senate and House.
And Arizona dealt with businesses. This deals with state action.
What we have to do, I think, is explain the facts of the bill, talk about it in a real way. I can't imagine that anybody in the Mississippi legislature wants to do anything that would bring harm to any other Mississippian.
18 other states have similar legislation, all mirrored after the 1993 Federal Religious Freedom Restoration Act. But it's Mississippi that's caught the nation's attention.
Everybody, from a national perspective, always looks for a reason to beat up on Mississippi. I think if the Arizona controversy had not happened, you wouldn't have seen this.
The governor says the bill could be on his desk by the end of the week. In Jackson, Mike Perchick, 16 WAPT News.
Thursday night's flash flood in Hattiesburg has left a neighborhood in chaos. As we see right here, a basketball hoop overturned into the muck. But the scary thing is, this hoop is originally from around the block.
Dewey Case woke up Friday morning with never-before-seen toys on his lawn. A memory of a scary storm that devastated his neighborhood.
Just very surreal watching your neighbors being evacuated on boats.
One of those neighbors was mother of 6, Samantha Elliott, who's now out of a house and was shaken by the storm.
They had a boat, they came in, they got us. We got out, the Red Cross took us to the hotel.
Elliott fortunately has insurance, but that can't make up for lost or damaged mementos.
We received a lot of rain over a short period of time, and with a lot of low-lying areas around the creeks in this particular part of the county. When you have issues like that, the water starts to back up very quickly.
While Elliott says she'll stay in her home for the long haul, other neighbors are debating their future.
Multiple floods. We're blessed by being so high, but several of these homes have been flooded out 2-3 times.
Now, as we take a look here, look at the leaves and tree branches backing up this ditch. Now, a resident we spoke to says it's these clogged ditches that are causing this flash flooding in the areas, and that caused a lot of damage to the homes throughout the neighborhood. That same resident pegged that there's been at least 4 floods in the area over the past calendar year, and he wants county officials to do something about it. From Hattiesburg, Mike Perchick, 16 WAPT News.